Hi, Tom Dempsey here at Jazz at Lincoln Center. And in this lesson, I'm going to build upon something I did in a previous lesson where I taught some basic jazz guitar chord voicings over an F blues. So what we're going to do here is show you some voicings that are known as rootless voicings, which basically means just as the title implies. We're going to take away the root from the chord voicing. Now you might ask, why am I going to do that? Why would I want to take away the root? Well, when you're playing in a rhythm section, you have to remember that you're playing with a bass player and oftentimes a piano player. So sometimes if you get too much information happening within the rhythm section, it kind of clutters things up and bogs down the rhythm section and doesn't make it as musical as possible. So a great technique for guitarists to start to develop is to be able to use rootless voicings. The bass player is going to play the root anyways, so if you're playing the harmony on top, then it helps to fill out the whole sound of what's happening in the rhythm section. So we're basically going to take just the exact same chord voicings that I used in that previous lesson and take away the root. So first, for my F7, it's going to be here in 6th position. The original voicing with the root looked like that. So I'm just going to change the voicing slightly to make it easier to play. And I'm going to have my second finger on the note A on the 7th fret of the D string. I'm going to have my third finger on the note E flat on the 8th fret of the G string, and my first finger on the 6th fret of the B string playing the note F. And I'm just going to do this. For the B flat 7, instead of playing this big chord with the root in it, I'm going to move my fingers around and represent just the upper portion of it. Just like this. So my first finger is barred across the 6th fret, and I'm playing A flat with my first finger on the 6th fret of the D string. My second finger is on the note D on the 7th fret of the G string, and my first finger catches that F on the 6th fret of the B string. So it sounds like this. And then, like with the other B flat 7 chord voicing when we played it like this and we just moved it up for C7, I'm going to take this same voicing and just move it up 2 frets for C7 like this. We're going to play this in time. I'm going to play it with the Charleston rhythm that we talked about earlier. In case you forgot, the Charleston rhythm is this. And I'm just going to play it with the rootless voicings. Okay? So we're going to do it with the metronome once again on 2 and 4. Here we go. 1, 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to build upon this and move into more of a jazz blues kind of progression. And if we remember from the previous lesson, it's going to be the exact same chords as the first 8 measures of what I just played. But where it's going to change is when we get to measure 9. And we play G minor 7 instead of the C7. So originally our G minor 7 chord was here. I'm just going to take away my second finger and I'm going to be playing B flat on the 8th fret of the D string. I'm going to be playing F on the 10th fret of the G string, and I'm going to double that B flat up here on the 11th fret of the B string. So there's my G minor 7 chord, and then I'm going to move to my C7, which is basically going to be the exact same voicing as what I had for B flat 7, just 2 frets up now. So I've got B flat on the 8th fret of the D string, E on the 9th fret of the G string, and G on the 8th fret of the B string. And then we're back to F7, and then for the turnaround, G minor 7 to C7. Here is this progression with the metronome. 1, 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4. For this last example, I'm going to take that same jazz blues progression that I just played, and this time I'm going to put in the quick 4, the B flat 7 chord on bar 2. So it's the same voicing as what we play on bar 5 of this progression, just we're going to move it to bar 2 and then back to F7 on bar 3. So here's that progression once again with the metronome. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. You're going to get a lot of mileage out of learning these kinds of rootless voicings, so start to practice them slowly, practice them with a metronome, then put it together in the progression. And when you're ready, come join me in another lesson where we'll take a look at comping with just guide tones.